The moment you mention wood chips in gardening circles, the room splits. Some folks swear by them, saying they're the secret to healthy soil. Others warn that they rob nitrogen, slow growth, or invite pests. The truth is, wood chips and shredded wood are among the most powerful soil-building tools available if you know how to use them. And, well, the good news is, you don't need to overcomplicate it. In this guide, you'll learn exactly how to turn plain wood waste into compost, mulch, and even potting mix. By the end, you'll see why old farmers and modern soil scientists both agree that wood is not waste, it's a long-term investment in living soil. Why do fresh wood chips behave differently than composted ones? Freshly chipped branches and shredded wood are rich in carbon and low in nitrogen. That makes them resistant to quick breakdown, which is why throwing fresh chips straight into the soil can cause problems. Microbes use available nitrogen to start digesting that woody carbon, pulling it temporarily away from your plants. This is why gardeners often complain of nitrogen lockup when chips are mixed directly into the root zone. But when wood chips are used on the surface as mulch or properly composted, the problem disappears. The chips break down slowly, feeding fungi, worms and microbes in a balanced way. This is why forest soils, which are built largely from fallen wood and leaves, are some of the richest on Earth. The key is not whether you use wood chips, but how. One of the simplest and most effective ways to use chips is as a surface mulch. Spread them on top of your soil, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches thick. That thickness is enough to block weeds, keep moisture from evaporating, and create a fungal-dominated layer of soil life underneath. For example, a vegetable bed mulched in early spring with a 3-inch layer of hardwood chips will stay damp far longer than bare soil, reducing your watering needs by up to half. As the months pass, fungi thread through the chips, breaking them into humus that feeds your crops season after season. If you're planting shallow-rooted crops like lettuce, scatter a little finished compost above the soil before laying the chips. This gives those seedlings immediate access to nutrients while the mulch does its slower work. For fruit trees and perennial beds, wood chip mulch is even more powerful. A ring of 4 inches of chips spread around the drip line of an apple or peach tree creates the fungal-rich soil structure those crops thrive on. Each year, top up the mulch with another inch or 2, and you'll slowly build a dark, sponge-like soil that holds water and nutrients better than bare ground ever could. If you want wood chips to break down more quickly, the trick is to balance their high carbon with nitrogen-rich materials. Grass clippings, kitchen scraps, manure or green leaves all work well. A simple formula is 2 parts green material for every 1 part wood chips by volume. So if you add 1 wheelbarrow of fresh chips to your compost heap, mix in 2 wheelbarrows of lawn clippings or other greens. Keep the pile moist like a wrung-out sponge and turn it every 2 to 3 weeks. Within 3 to 6 months, you'll notice the chips softening, darkening and blending into a rich compost. If you prefer a more passive method, simply layer wood chips and green waste in alternating sheets. Over a year or 2, the pile will collapse into a fungal-rich compost without much effort. For gardeners with little time but plenty of material, one effective method is to create a wood chip windrow. Pile the chips into a long mound, sprinkle in manure or grass every few feet and leave it alone. The centre will heat up, fungi will colonize, and in about 2 years you'll have a mound of soft, earthy compost that smells just like a forest floor. Now, wood chips don't just belong in compost or mulch, you know. With a little extra processing, they can be part of a potting mix too. Fine wood shreds, especially those that have partially decomposed, really do improve drainage and aeration in containers. So, think of them as a natural alternative to perlite or vermiculite. To make a balanced potting blend, try mixing 2 parts finished compost, 1 part aged wood fines or shredded wood and 1 part coarse sand. This produces a loose, fertile mix that holds water while still letting roots breathe. Gardeners who raise seedlings can go even finer. Just sieve well-aged wood chip compost until it's crumbly, then mix it half and half with screened garden compost. The result is a seed-starting medium with excellent texture. Not every garden system uses wood chips the same way, though. When you stick with wood chips and shredded wood, the long-term payoff is really enormous. Over the years, they build a fungal-dominant soil structure that plants rely on for deep nutrition. They create humus that holds moisture like a sponge, making crops more resilient in drought. They slowly release minerals that roots draw upon season after season, and they attract earthworms, beetles, and beneficial fungi that knit the soil into a living ecosystem. So here's the simple takeaway. Wood chips and shredded wood are not waste products, they're soil builders. If this guide helped clear up the confusion around wood chips, share it with a fellow gardener who's been a bit hesitant about using them. And if you want more hands-on, time-tested soil wisdom like this, make sure to subscribe to Backyard Wisdom. Every week you'll get grounded, practical methods that turn everyday materials into thriving soil and crops. Together we're not just gardening, we're building living ecosystems, one chip at a time.